Welcome back to the Artemis Flight Control Room here at the Johnson Space Center. We are coming to you live with our 24/7 continuous coverage of the Artemis 2 mission. With me, I have Chris Bellant. He is the Flight Activities Officer here in the room on my shift with me. Chris, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're excited to have you, and you are the one that keeps us organized over the course of the mission. So tell us a little bit about your role in Artemis 2.
Yes, I'm one of a team of 10 planners. We do the initial planning, but we lead the initial planning before the mission to lay out all the activities in the most efficient way possible so the crew can get the most done. And then every night we go through a small replan shift to adjust the timeline for the next day for any updates we have from the previous day, things we want to add, or time adjustments that we learn from the previous day.
And we learn these time adjustments based on our trajectory. If there's small corrections we need to do with trajectory, that may impact the timeline. So overnight, or what we do during Orbit 3 is just replan, and then sometimes replan again, and sometimes replan a third time. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct. We keep replanning until we get it right. We load new trajectory every night, new comm data, and lots of other small files that adjust a lot of our condition data and our activities a little bit. And then we go over it a couple times with a fine-tooth comb to make sure everything's perfect. And then we put it on board for the crew just before they wake up.
So you have to be quite organized to do something like this. We joked before we went on the air that, you and I were both probably very type A people. So what kind of skills and attention to detail do you need to do a role like Flight Activities Officer?
Lots of checklists to help you remember what to do, thinking through activities, what could happen, all the different outcomes, just trying to remember all the constraints for the different activities and what conflicts with what. And a lot of conversations with the team, pulling in 3 or 4 people when I think something doesn't look right, just having a discussion about it until we figure out all the details and how to plan it out the best way for the crew possible.
Well, thank you so much for all that you've been doing over the course of the mission. But you had told me when we first started that 9 years you've been supporting the Artemis program. So tell us about how this evolution that brings us to Artemis 2.
Yes, I started about 9 years ago as one of the lead planners for Artemis 1, and I got to start off with a very rough timeline and go through the whole development process for that program and fly the mission around the moon. I was actually on the console for the second slingshot around the moon for Artemis 1. This mission, I was on the shift just before we went by the moon, doing the replanning shift right before that. So it's been a really exciting time, and I find on console that I have a smile on my face the whole time.
So no matter how stressful, how many things you have to replan, and how many times you have to replan, it still brings you joy.
Absolutely. I just keep remembering that I'm part of a team flying a spacecraft around the moon, and I can't get enough of it.
I have to ask you, you are one of millions of people, along with me, that sent your name around the moon. Is that right?
Yep. I submitted my name a couple months ago, and I got a boarding pass along with more than 5 million others, and I brought it in today, so I get to get a picture with the crew when they wake up.
That's fantastic. And how does it feel knowing the impact, the role you've had in this mission? How are you feeling?
Oh, incredible. It's wonderful to think about being a part of something so big and that the world's so excited about.
You and me both. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. You have to get back because the crew is waking up in 42 minutes and counting. So for now, this is Mission Control Houston. We'll continue to provide you with live coverage of